I'm doing this with the lights off because I also have a headache, so I don't have glasses on, and I don't know for sure if this is like spooky lights. Um, I'm not telling a ghost story, although I do talk about death. So hang in there with me. I have something important to talk about. I want to talk about loving ourselves. Hang in there. I don't think what I have to say is overly cheesy. It's definitely not saccharine. Um, but it could be life-saving, hopefully. Because what I'm going to talk about is what I'm doing to save my own life. Today was a hard day, physically hard. A hard physical day leaves no room for anything else at all. So, slim margin. And I very much want to talk about value right now because I never feel less value than when I literally can no longer do things. We're a do things society. How do you find value when every few years you can do less and less things? And that's aside from joy, because doing less and less things also does not help me find joy. Because I miss doing the stuff I used to do. So let's talk about this. Because I think I've stumbled on a few things that are really critical for my own mental health, and I want to share them. And I want to share them with my full chest, and I want to say things out loud that, I don't know, depending on who you are, maybe you've always said all the things you need to say out loud. I don't think there's a lot of us in America that are women who've always said the things you need to say out loud. But I know that you exist out there. So maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this doesn't resonate with you. And that is fine, because it's okay if I'm not for you. So let's dig in to what I've decided to talk about tonight with the teeny tiny bit that's left of me. That's how important this is. So let's do it. Fair warning that this is going to be more of the not part of cute not. You matter exactly as much as you decide you matter. I am, for the first time, fully understanding that it is not only okay to love myself, but critical that I learn how to. And just prior to where I am right now, this moment in time, where I began recording videos, for a couple of years before that, I almost did not make it. This is difficult to talk about. I would not be able to do this if my own children did not already know exactly how hard those years had been. But they do, unfortunately. And the reason that they do is because that's how hard those years were. A few months ago, for the first time ever, I chose life. It was a critical moment, just me and me, when I realized that while I had been fighting off death since I was 7, I had never specifically said, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm choosing life. I'm going to live. Once I decide a thing, I do the thing. And I don't bluff. If I say that I'm going to do or not do a thing out loud, you can trust that I mean it, because I don't bluff. And so I don't bluff with myself either. I didn't do that work in a second. I did that work over months and months and months. I just wanted to get off of this ride that felt like nothing but pain over and over and over. And I thought, well, what if you decided to change the ride? I don't know why it took so very long for me to think of it that way, but it was revolutionary, because since then, and like I said, it's been at least several months now, I have been able to just pull my own brain back into line by saying, actually, we don't do that anymore. Our brains lie to us. And if we're neurodivergent, our brains, in my opinion, lie to us even more, because our chemistry is different. And our chemistry responds to the stimuli around us differently. So we have to be our own best friend. We have to be our own best advocate. Because if we aren't, then who will be? And if we aren't, every room we walk into, we're already setting ourselves up for failure. By necessity, I'm walking into all new rooms. And also by necessity, in order to keep that promise that I have made to myself and to my children, that this is a choice that is done, complete, and not to be revisited, I have to be in control of my mind, not the other way around. I do that by very strategically paying attention to what my mind is paying attention to. I'm not saying no bad days or bad moments or no tears or any of that. All of that is the opposite of self-acceptance. What I'm saying is, regardless of the bad days, regardless of the tears, regardless of depression, regardless of extremely high anxiety, regardless of CPTSD, regardless of having to become unhoused and not knowing where I'm going to be, I not only get to love myself, I must learn to truly love myself. I hope you made some eye contact with me just now, because in my mind, I was making eye contact with you, and I was in communion with you about whatever the world has said to you about you that makes you feel unlovable. This was important enough to get out of bed for, so that I could look you in the eyes and say, guess what? They're wrong. You know you better than anyone else knows you, right? So we don't have to accept other people's inaccurate judgments of us. And also, some of us who have long-term trauma, we're fine-tuned into the slightest bit of disapproval, and it feels massive. I have not fixed that for myself. Probably a long way away on that one. But I'm aware, and I'm working on it. And that makes me a person who is self-reflective and who knows how to work on myself. And honestly, that's the basis for absolutely anything that we need to know about ourselves ever. So, bestie, get out there, start rejecting the messages that do not apply to you, accept only the ones that do, and on the off chance that the bad messenger, the one who is giving you messaging about yourself to make you feel bad about yourself, is you, your own brain, you gotta reject that too. And then um, you've got to fill it up with the right messaging, because your brain will do and say something to you about you. It can either be correct or incorrect. So figure out what you do love about yourself. Start there, expand on that, and fill your brain with goodness. Fill it with so much goodness about you, about choices you've made, about things you've done, um, tough times you've overcome. I don't want to sound like an inspirational speaker, because while those are fun and I can do those, that's not this. This is about aspirations and fulfilling your best aspirations for yourself, which absolutely requires not accepting the negative messaging of others about you, not accepting the incorrect messaging about you from you, and thirdly, inputting the good stuff. Honestly, you will never overcome the bad stuff if you don't fill your brain with good stuff. So go do that. And if you're not sure what you love about you, do you know someone who does love you? Ask them for anything. Just ask them for one thing they love about you. Because anyone I've ever loved, even if I no longer have a relationship with them, I could still tell them something that I loved about them, honestly, that I love about them, because that stays in the love space. So I hope this helps somebody. If it helped you and you want to reach out and let me know, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Um, if you don't like it, you can put that there too. I probably won't engage, because I'm rejecting messaging about me that is inaccurate. And so I'm not going to fight you. You can have your own opinion about me, and that's totally fine. I don't need to change it, but I also don't need to argue with it, and I also don't need to accept it. So if you found yourself here, it was probably for a reason. Let's go forth and do great things for ourselves and for our loved ones. That's it for tonight. Bye, y'all.